Part 3.
Episode 3.
Episode the third.
Cubed?
Cubed. Yeah, to the third power of Playground
Fireside
Holiday
Chat.
Fireside
8-bit Holiday Chat.
Extravaganza.
Yeah.
I'm David Farrell. I'm the composer of 8-Bit Christmas with the Playground Ensemble.
And I'm Sarah Whitnah, violinist and board president.
We've talked about so many awesome things in episodes 1 and 2, but we're not done talking about how cool this project is.
We're not. So, David, give us a taster of what people will hear on this CD.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really great holiday music that we get to hear. And so, you know, for me, like, picking the songs is one of the really fun parts. One of the ones that I got to do that you got to play on was Auld Lang Syne, which is like a lovely, like, kind of New Year's song.
It's the last, very nostalgic.
Right, it's the last song on the record. And, you know, when I'm looking at a song, there's like a lot of things that you want to think about. For me, like, simple songs are really fun because they allow you to sort of put your personality into them, right? A really complicated song already has so much going on. Sometimes for me, it's like, well, how do I figure out how I'm going to do that thing? Whereas simpler songs tend to like have a lot of space. You can do whatever you want with them. And, you know, like beautiful melodies, I'm not going to lie. Like a lot of these songs that I do are older songs. And I think one of the reasons that we've been singing them, some of them for like hundreds of years, is because they have really lovely melodies. And Auld Lang Syne has a really beautiful melody. It's just a really beautiful melody.
How do you make that yours? How, other than the 8-bit?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's fun.
Because they've all been done so much, right?
Yeah, for sure. And so I think the 8-bit is part of it, and it's about sort of figuring out a way to make it interesting. For me, it's kind of like taking apart the melody into little pieces, taking the music, sort of breaking it up into chunks. And it's about sort of like rediscovering, like, what does this thing sound like in a new way? How can we sort of make it fresh and make it new again? I don't think any of my arrangements sound like anybody else's way they would imagine these songs, because I'm trying to sort of figure out, like, well, how can I take it apart? And a lot of times it's through this lens that, like, well, what if this was a game, right? What does this sound like if there was a boss you're fighting, or if you're in like a happy level,
awesome.
or like, you know, a dangerous place, or something tense, whatever. And a lot of those feelings then come out in the songs. Auld Lang Syne, of course, is like a really nice song, and so that one has this feel of like almost like post-credits type music, you know, like credit, you know, like where it's the end of something, and so it's a really gentle setting of that music.
Yeah, I really like that. And I, having performed a few of these, noticed that you play around with meters a lot.
Yeah,
and you kind of displace the melodies, which I think is unique to your voice.
Yeah, as a composer, I'm just like a rhythm person, I think, first and foremost. And so time is always interesting for me. And with the computers, they're so good at doing cool time things. So to me, that's just a really natural place to go. And it helps the melody sound a little bit different when it moves in a way that maybe you wouldn't expect. When a note lasts a little bit longer or moves a little bit more quickly than in the original version.
Yeah, that's really nice. So some other songs that you chose for the CD, Nutcracker, which I
medley.
hear is brutal.
It's the hardest one, I think. Yeah, really hard. Yeah, just
For
gets
flute
faster
and
and faster and faster. Yeah, flute and clarinet, right? So it's a really colorful setting, right? All those Nutcracker dances that we know, the Russian dance and the Chinese dance and all those things, they're just so colorful. And so using the woodwinds there makes sense to me, right? And it's so fast, and so they get to play fast fingers.
Yes, yeah. And you've got Patapan is on there, and a few others, and we also did Coventry Carol.
Yeah.
And we actually recorded Coventry Carol at CPR about a year ago.
Right. Coventry Carol is like an old song. That's one of like the oldest songs in the thing. I think I am really attracted to very old songs because I think there's something really funny about doing an 8-bit version of a song from like the 1400s. There's something, these songs are so like vocal, and making them electronic feels like really wrong, but also just really cool. And so I love the old songs. I do a lot of old songs.
Great. And
CPR, right?
Yes.
This is how we got to the whole playground doing this thing, because CPR wanted to do a bunch of Christmas music by like local musician groups.
Yep. And as a new music ensemble, we had never recorded anything holiday related before.
Believe it or not, like the new
Right.
music community is not a really like Christmas music emphasizing community.
Unless I guess unless you're in like the choral world, right, where
Sure.
there's modern day choral composers who are kind of doing that thing.
Yeah.
But
the playground who
terms
like
of, like,
plays a lot of like
right.
experimental or really
Right.
contemporary music.
that brings me actually to another good point in that this fits with the playground because has such a close relationship with the electronics in the arrangements. So, I mean, there's new arrangements being done and covers being done of Christmas stuff all the time, which you could technically say is contemporary.
Sure.
But because of this project's relationship with the electronics, it really felt like a natural fit for us.
And it just feels so different too. I mean, it really is different from a lot of things you could hear.
Right. And one of the reasons I was so excited to support it is the instruments feel like they bring kind of a depth to the 8-bit that wouldn't exist on their own. And it's such like a nostalgia thing. And so many composers are influenced by the times that they live in. And for David and for other people in our generation, Nintendo music was totally that thing that influences what we hear in our childhood and how we create things.
Nintendo and Christmas, these are two great childhood
Totally.
things. And now they get to come together.
Yeah.
In a really cool way.
Yeah. So look forward to the CD. It's going to be really fun. And if you want to hear Coventry Carol, there's a link in the post.
It's right down there.
And check it out.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
See ya.